Welcome back. Time to check out just what makes the Dreamcast tick. Can the system withstand the test of time, not to mention the long hours gaming? Adam and EGN's Sean Smith dissect the game system and give us the lowdown.
Well, you've seen the games and you've heard all the hype, but now let's check out what's driving the Dreamcast. We brought in Sean Smith from EGM all the way from Chicago.
How's it going, Adam?
It's going really well. Now, what are you making of the design of the Dreamcast?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's just a gray box, but I like it. You've got the 4 controller ports in the front for multiplayer games, a couple buttons on top. There's nothing really cluttering the system. The only thing I'm concerned about is the fan. The system tends to get pretty hot, so I think there may be some heat issues in the future. But overall, I think it'll get the job done.
So the CPU of the Dreamcast, that's a 200 megahertz microprocessor. What does that translate to?
Well, hopefully it'll translate into better quality games. It's a Hitachi 200 megahertz processor. I mean, it's something that we've never seen on a console system before. So I mean, you're going to find that's 2 or 3 times faster than the PlayStation or the N64.
Now, the Dreamcast is using a GD-ROM drive.
Right.
It's CD-ROM and it's not DVD-ROM. Why did they choose that, and what does that mean?
Well, it's basically a disk that holds 1 gigabyte, which is 1,000 megs of data, opposed to 650 megabytes that's on a standard CD. The other reason is that it's a proprietary format for Sega, so pirates are going to have a harder time copying these disks.
Now, the operating system is Windows CE. What's that going to do for the Dreamcast?
Well, apparently it's a pretty easy operating system to program for, especially for PC game developers who want to port their games over to the Dreamcast. But in addition, I mean, I guess it's just a robust operating system to begin with. In fact, Microsoft has more employees working on Windows CE than they do on Windows 98.
Please check the number and dial again.
So, the modem. What's your verdict on it?
I think it's the most exciting part of the Dreamcast at this point. I mean, it's a 56K modem. Console gamers have never had anything quite like that. And with the port's expandability, I mean, you can put an ISDN modem, a DSL modem, or even a cable modem in there in the future. It's really going to open up a lot of doors for online gaming for console gamers.
So expandability, what's the potential for the system to grow?
Well, since it's based on the Windows CE operating system, and it's got all kinds of ports for expansion, I think the Dreamcast is going to go places where console game systems never gone before.
But real, bottom line, when are we going to have to see a new console system?
Well, you know, 4 or 5 years from now, I think the PlayStation's been around that long, but another thing to consider is that 4 or 5 years from now, console gaming is going to be a lot different. And I think, at least in part, it'll be thanks to the Dreamcast.
Until now, online gaming has been the domain of PC users. Well, that's about to change with Sega's online Dreamcast network. So what's it all about? Watch this.
We believe in the power of the internet and the power of social gaming via the internet.
Oh, yeah!
By including a 56K modem in every Dreamcast, Sega has set the stage for a revolution in console gaming. Peter Moore, Sega's Senior VP of Marketing, believes that the Dreamcast will push console gaming further than it has ever been.
We do not believe that in-home gaming will stay the same as it has been over the past few years. Internet will be the future of gaming. The internet opens so much promise for global gaming, and that's a major part of our strategy going forward. We have an incredible and unique opportunity to take online gaming to the next level.
I think the online play is going to turn out to be really, really popular. I think that's one of the things that on the PC side they can offer up that they haven't been able to offer up on the console side. The ability to get in there and you know, team play with your friends. Yahoo!
Well, I think a lot of consolers are really hyped up about the internet feature.
Initially, Dreamcast owners will only be able to use the Dreamcast network for chatting, message boards, and previews. But next year, Sega will open up the multiplayer aspect of the Dreamcast network. With the impending release of the PlayStation 2 and Nintendo's Dolphin, Jeff Gersman of VideoGames.com believes the Dreamcast network is essential to the system's future.
Provided that the connection speeds move up, it will be very crucial. If it stays at 56K, it's like that's good enough for certain games, but some first-person shooters, you're not going to really see optimum performance. You know, racing games, you might see a little lag here and there. But if they can get the speeds up, if this whole network that they're supposedly building for online support works out, I think it's really going to bring a lot to the gameplay.
The quality of the games look really good. If Sega can make sure the packets are fast, so the games appear fast on your console side, everyone's going to jump on every internet game that comes out as it comes out to the market.
So how will Sega's new direction in console gaming influence the gaming industry? Joe Fielder from VideoGames.com believes it will be a directing force in future game development.
No, I can definitely see that driving the direction of the games. I can see the more developers find they can do with the online component of the Dreamcast, the more they're going to develop into it. You know, you might see games like Quake 3 Arena, where the single-player side of the game is a lot less important than the multiplayer, where it's really designed for multiplayer.
I think the modem is pretty significant, where multiplayer is the in thing now, and it has been on the PC, so it's going to be even bigger on the Dreamcast.
Did those last segments whiz by a little too fast? Come by the Gamespot TV website at zdtv.com and check out our Dreamcast online and hardware specials in streaming video.
Coming up in our Dreamcast special, more than 15 games are being released with the new 128-bit console system. But which ones do you want to spend your cash on? We run down the top 5 to break your piggy bank for.